Hello guys, we are here today with another political forecast from Bo Forecasts. This is one of my first videos, so I'm just getting the technical difficulties out today, but we are going to do a political Senate prediction for 2020. So this coronavirus is kind of weird, but we're just going to do it and see how it goes. So the first state we're going to start off with is Oregon. It's right up here, this state right here. I cannot remember who is running in that state, but just since Oregon leans very blue, we're going to put it in the likely column. It's not going to be completely because Oregon is just not very blue as much as it used to be. We're going to come over to Idaho. There are some states where I'm not even going to talk about because they're really not going to be, they're not going to matter much. Idaho and Wyoming are not going to matter too much. South Dakota and Nebraska are not going to matter too much. For Democrats, really not going to care about them as much as Republicans will. But at the same time, you have to remember that in the future, a lot of these states could come up in different columns. If you look at Arkansas, that's going to be Arkansas is leaning very, very Republican. All of the congressmen are Republican, the senators are Republican, the governor's Republican, and it just always has been for years. It could change in a few years, but look, Louisiana is going to be Republican, very Republican. Mississippi will be Republican. Alabama is where Doug Jones is, and he's a Democrat, but I think, from what I understand, he won by a very small margin. And just because he voted to impeach Donald Trump, I believe that it will go Republican by that much. There's a man named Tommy Tuberville in Alabama, and I think he's going to win pretty well. He was the coach of the Texans, I think. But then you come over to Georgia. Now, Georgia could be interesting, just because of how Kelly Loeffler and the stock exchange. There is a man named Doug Jones. He's a congressman from Georgia, and he may end up taking the spot from her, even though she was appointed by the governor, by Governor Kemp. But I'm just gonna say Georgia will be Republican in that one, strong. Actually, no, I'm gonna say for right now, just in intents purposes, I'm gonna say this one's gonna be strong. Lean. But I don't think Democrats are yet ready in Georgia to do anything much. That could change, but for right now, I'm just going to say that Georgia could be, it's going to go down a Republican for now. But at the same time, 2024 election, it could change a lot. So you have to remember that. The next one is South Carolina. I think this one, at first I thought it could be interesting. But at first I thought it was going to be easy for Lindsey Graham, but he has a man running against him named, what's his name? I'm having a blank right now, but he's a black man, and he outraised Lindsey Graham, which is interesting. But at the same time, with being a presidential election and being Lindsey Graham being a senator for many years, I'm just going to say it's going to go lean. But we don't really understand, a lot of the predictors really don't understand the climate of this election until we get closer. Because right now we're just kind of making from past elections and polls and stuff. But once we see the turnout, we see the campaigns, we'll get a better understanding. Up here in North Carolina, this could be another interesting one for Republicans. I think that they can take it. I think they'll keep it, but it's just still going to be really interesting. This one is run right now by a man named Thom Tillis. He's been a senator since 2014. No, it's been later than that. It was earlier than that. But just because of how Cal Cunningham, the Democrat running against him, he's kind of a newer guy too. I don't think he understands as much as some people do politics. But just because for right now, I'm going to say that he's going to win this by a slight margin. It's not going to be completely red, but it's not going to be very close. Coming up to Virginia, just because there is a guy named Omari Fleischer, Omari, I forget what his name is, but he's a Republican running in Virginia against the one man who's a Democrat. And I think it could be, I think it's going to be just like kind of like Oregon. Maybe there could be a chance where it could be slight, but I just don't think yet. Depends how the Democrats in Virginia view the guns. But for right now, I'm just going to say it's going to be slight like Oregon. Now you're at 37 Republican to 35 Democrats. This election, Republicans will have to defend a lot. But, yeah. West Virginia, Capito, Senator Capito, I think she'll win by a nice amount. She is very liked in that state. Even though she does have a challenger, I don't think that will matter too much. But we're going to say that she's going to win, but I'm just going to say by a lot. Kentucky, that's where Mitch McConnell is. Even though he does have a woman running against him. She ran for Congress and she lost sorely. So just because of that and how long he's been in for and how the elections have gone for him, I'm gonna say it's gonna go like a slight. Not like I'm gonna say it's gonna go lean Republican. Tennessee will go. That will go strong. Looking up to Delaware. Delaware could be interesting, but it's up here. It could be interesting, but for right now, just because of the climate of it and how well the guy's doing, I'm gonna say it's gonna go like Virginia. I'm not gonna say it's gonna go strong for Delaware, but I think it will go kind of like Virginia. Hate to say, but I think New Jersey. It depends because New Jersey is a state of, I think, a lot of people are smart. I'm going to say it's going to go, just for now, I'm going to say it's going to go with, like, Virginia. I don't think Cory Booker will win by a crazy amount, like 90 to 10, but I think he will win he'll probably win 60 to 40. I'm going to say that, 60 to 40, maybe 65 to 35. That's probably what it's going to be like. But I don't think Republicans really have a chance, which is a shame, but I think it could be a swing state then. Coming up here to Rhode Island. Rhode Island's not very interesting. I'm going to say it's just going to go dark, and Massachusetts will go completely blue. And then these two states up here are very interesting in this election especially. We have New Hampshire, and we also have Maine. Now, Maine, there's a woman named Susan Collins who's in the Republican side. Susan Collins has a very moderate Republican. She always has been a moderate Republican. She has voted for moderate things. She's not always stick to the Republicans. I think that will actually in this state help her a lot. And even though there is a woman, I forget her name, that's running against her, I do think she's going to pull through at the end because there are a lot of independents in Maine. So I'm going to say it's going to go like North Carolina. I don't think it's going to be swing, but yeah. And then coming over to New Hampshire, right now, we have Jeanne Shaheen running. I believe that she will win if Republicans don't have a good candidate. Right now, they really don't have a great candidate. But if President Trump can rally around them and President Trump does win by 5 points in New Hampshire and he pulls a Republican through barely, I think it will. But for right now, just because I'm going to say that one will... If we're talking about Trump, and I know he will campaign there, I'm going to say for right now that will go lean, very lean. You can see the difference between Maine and that. I'm just going to say that for now, but it's either between, New Hampshire's very weird because it's either between lean Republican or lean Dem. I don't think she'll win by a lot. If she does win, I don't think the other person will win by a lot if they do. But we're going to have to see. Yeah. So coming up to Michigan. Michigan is a very interesting state this election because we have a man named John James who's running against Gary Peters. Gary Peters is a Democrat in Michigan. He's been there for 6 years on the one term. And Gary Peters did not have a very good name recognition. And just because of Michigan, how it is turning more Republican as we see it because for the past many years it's not been Republican. But now I think it will be. So with that said, I'm going to say that Michigan, just because John James kind of got himself out there when he ran against, what's that woman's name in Michigan? There's another senator. I'm having a blank. I'm sorry. I can't remember her name, but the other Michigan senator he ran against. Oh, Debbie Stabenow. He ran against Debbie Stabenow, and he lost. But he did well. I mean, he didn't do enough to win the election, but he did well for a Republican in Michigan. So I think that Michigan will go. I'm gonna say it will go kind of like New Hampshire. I don't think Gary Peters will win. I just don't. Next one we have is Minnesota. Now Minnesota could be a weird one. Democrats may not expect it, but this is one of those predictions that I have that I think could win. Minnesota. Tina Smith is running in Minnesota. She's been in there for a while, but if Republicans can get and Trump can get in Minnesota and campaign to try to get moderate support and say, oh well, I've really done well with this coronavirus, I think that Minnesota could go red. But for right now, I'm just gonna say that it will go slight. Actually, not since it's April. I'm just gonna say, be nice to Democrats. I'm going to say it's going to go slight for Tina Smith, just because she's an incumbent. But if they find someone and Trump can get out there and campaign for him and canvass for him, then I think he will win. I really do. Coming up next, we have Iowa. Now, Iowa can be another interesting one. The polls are saying that Joni Ernst does not have a very good approval rating, but just because the farmers are really into Trump and he's just had a very good approval rating in Iowa, I'm just going to say that she will win this state. I'm going to say she's going to go kind of like Kentucky. It's not going to be swing, though. Next up, we have Illinois. Now, Illinois will not be interesting. I don't know why I said that. But Illinois will be very boring. I think it will go, I'm going to say dark. Yeah, because Illinois, there's Chicago. I think there will be a lot of interesting congressional races in Illinois. I just don't think that right now I don't think Illinois will switch at all. I think congressional races in the suburbs of Chicago could be interesting, and I think everyone should watch them. Next up, we have Kansas. Kansas will go, I'm going to say slight, just because if you get near Topeka and Wichita, you will see a little bit more blue. And even though they have a blue governor, I don't think it means anything, but I think it will go red. Oklahoma, I don't know why I didn't mark this one. That will go red. John Cornyn, he's really great in there. I forget who's running against him, but I love him. I think a lot of Texans love him, and I just think he's going to win again. Coming over to Alaska, I'll just do Alaska. That's going to go, I'm going to say I'll go swing. You know what? I might as well. Alaska's never going to go blue. It's going to go, just because sometimes it has gone a little slight Democrat by a little bit, but I think Republicans will take that easily. And then you have these states here. New Mexico will be very interesting. That will go like Oregon. Now you have these three states here that really could play a part into the election. Now, right now, it's 53 Republican to 44 Democrat. We're going to say that just because Steve Bullock is running for Senate, I think it could put Steve Daines a little behind. But for right now, I just think that Steve Daines will definitely win. Because there's a difference between federal government and just state government. Steve Bullock, I think, was liked in the state, but will he be liked going to federal government? So I'm going to say right now it's going to go... Oh, no, I don't want to do that. I'm going to say that will go like that. Just kind of like Kansas and Iowa. And then we get to Colorado and Arizona. Now, I think, for right now... I'm saying this for right now. I'm not saying this for the future. I think that right now, if the election was today, I think that the Democrat... Oh, gosh, what did I do? Jeez. I think the Democrat would definitely win. Mark Kelly, I think he would definitely win, but not by much. It's going to be a very slight race for him. I really believe that. But Colorado, if the race was today, I think that... Because I think Trump could easily carry Colorado, but I think what's his name? I can't believe I'm sorry guys, I'm so bad with names sometimes. But this man, what's his name? I can't remember. I'm blanking. But this man, Cory Gardner. Cory Gardner, I think, will definitely win if it was today. Now there's still an election. There's still some investigations with John Hickenlooper. He may end up not running. And I think Cory Gardner, but I'm going to say for right now, Cory Gardner will go slight. So there it is, guys. It's 55-45. Republicans gain 2. I hate to say it because I love Arizona, and to see that go to see that go blue would be a shame. I do love Martha McSally. I will donate to her. I will donate to John James. I'll donate to any Republican in New Hampshire, but this is the map. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and stay tuned for my next video. Thank you.